us to Smithtown. That's where Jessica Fregoso is, to introduce us to some people who are taking care of abused and neglected bulldogs.
He's fun to have. I mean, you see him. I mean, just the way he acts is just one big lump of love that wants to play and, you know, wants somebody to love him.
Sean Owenberg says his family fell in love with their English bulldog Hugo the moment they met him, and love is what Hugo needed.
He's so much fun to play with.
Yeah? What do you like about him?
Everything. We love hugging him.
Hugo was found abandoned in Brooklyn and spent some time at an animal shelter until he was taken in by a local rescue group.
Long Island Bulldog Rescue found out about him and had him transferred to Nassau Suffolk Veterinarian in Farmingdale.
Sean says he had always wanted a bulldog, so last summer he began looking into adoption. While searching the internet, he came across the nonprofit organization Long Island Bulldog Rescue. Sean contacted the group's founder, Lorette Richin, and he and his family had to go through an adoption screening proved. On August 20th, 2011, Hugo joined the Owenberg family.
Just wanting a bulldog is not enough with us because everybody, you know, just look at how many people want them and throw them out. So we need to very carefully screen people and educate people.
Whatever life he had prior to this is definitely better. You know, I mean, you can sense it.
Just how Sean has given Hugo a better life, Sean says Hugo has been a blessing in his life. Sean is disabled. He was diagnosed with bone cancer 5 years ago. He says having Hugo helps keep him busy and smiling every day.
It definitely makes life more, you know, a little bit more fun and just less stressful. You know, it's just kind of like he just makes you smile when on the worst of days and on the best of days.
Giving bulldogs like Hugo that have been abandoned, abused, or neglected a second chance at life is what Long Island Bulldog Rescue is all about.
Good girl. You want a kiss?
Lorette says she immediately fell in love with the breed when she got her first bulldog more than 2 decades ago and joined the Long Island Bulldog Club. Then in 1999, she began to see a need for a rescue and decided to start the all-volunteer group.
In 1999, I was sent to look by one of the breeders at a bulldog that was in the shelter in Huntington, and to make sure it was a bulldog we could take it. And I took him home. He was just a puppy, 6 months old, and he was a mess. He had mange, he was the sweetest thing. So I kept him, and I got him fixed up, and I found a home for him, and I was hooked. Because something about seeing that dog who really needs you, and you get him help, and you find him be part of a happy family is it's a very good feeling.
That first year, Lorette rescued 13 bulldogs. Last year, she and her group of volunteers saved more than 300, including Daisy, who was fostered by Josephine Cuccio for a year as she was healing.
She was rescued from a house with several dogs that came in, and you know, she sort of had problems with her hip. She was dragging her legs on the floor, so we had several fundraisers, and she had a total hip replacement.
Now Daisy here has recently been adopted, but there are still more than 24 bulldogs in need of loving homes. Where are you rescuing most of the dogs from?
We've actually started to cover the whole Northeast, but most of them are just from suburban areas like this, where people fall in love. They go to a puppy store, they look in the window, and there's nothing in this world cuter than a bulldog puppy. I mean, they look at you, those eyes, that little droopy face, and you hand them the credit card, and you go home and you have no idea that the dog you have may have some really serious problems, and that even when they don't, a really perfect bulldog is problematic. They're very needy, they love people, they want to be with you all the time. And in this economy with people, even when they can't afford them, they don't have the time.
During these tough times, Lorette says she's also seen pet owners having to give up their dogs because they just can't afford to take care of them anymore. Lorette says her goal is to not only save bulldogs in need, but also to educate the public. She goes into the community and schools and hosts events throughout the year. Lorette says she wouldn't be able to do this without the dozens of folks who are committed to helping the cause. Volunteers like Josephine foster the bulldogs and also hosts fundraisers to help pay for medical expenses.
Sit. Good boy.
How does it feel knowing that you're able to save these dogs?
It's just an amazing feeling to know, there's been times when one has been pulled out of the shelter, like minutes before euthanasia, and then you see, like, along the way, it's gone into their home, their forever family, and they're happy and playing, and it's just an amazing feeling.
And Josephine and Lorette say what keeps them going is a passion to help these dogs and the happy ending stories, seeing families like the Owenbergs being matched with bulldogs like Hugo.
At Christmas time, I get like 1 million cards, happy dogs, happy families, and I remember what it was before, and I remember the before pictures and the sadness and the pain and the expense. And then I look at, really great pictures of everybody smiling and happy dogs, and it makes me feel good.
Well, to find out more about what they're doing and how you might be able to help, go to LongislandBulldogRescue.org.